Coming up on this episode of Up for Debate, we're talking kitchen gadgets. Again! We didn't conclude everything we want to talk about, so we're back with the sequel, talking about everything from cutting boards and cheese graters to whatever Matt's got in his brain, who knows, but if it's in the kitchen, we're going to discuss it coming up now on Up for Debate. This is Up for Debate, episode number 78, recorded April 6th, 2017. Kitchen Gadgetry, the sequel. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Up for Debate, the show that quite literally will talk about anything. I'm Sean Jennings, joined as always by our head chef, our sous chef, our saucier, Mr. Matt.
Well, which one is it? Is it the head chef or the sous chef?
Well, we'll see how you do during the episode, and maybe you'll get the promotion of head chef. We'll see. Right now, you're just on the line with the other cooks.
Okay.
I used to be a big... Did you ever watch Hell's Kitchen?
Of course.
I used to be a big fan of that show. That show was great.
It was great.
It's still on, apparently. I don't know.
I was just going to say, like anything else with the Food Network, it starts out pretty great and then it gets pretty crappy pretty fast.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
Yeah. That was great. Iron Chef was great. You had a lot of great...
Chopped
a lot
was
of hope
fun
for
a little while.
Chopped. Yeah, Chopped was fantastic. I happen to like Cutthroat Kitchen.
Sure.
I know that it's no Chopped and it's no Hell's Kitchen, but I think it's pretty cool still, nonetheless.
Sure.
God, those are some good competitive cooking shows.
And ones they would never let us on.
See, that's the thing the thing I liked about Cutthroat Kitchen is that it, like, you had those little challenges, right? Like the little things that made your cooking job harder. Like you had to cook wearing your oven mitts like all the time, or like you had to have your body saran wrapped before you started cooking, or so you had to cut out of it or something, or whatever it was.
You know,
I always thought they didn't do this, and I don't know if they would do this as a challenge. I thought there should be one challenge where an onion has to be placed next to you the entire time you're cooking, like a cut open onion, so that it like makes you cry the whole time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because I think that's the toughest challenge in the kitchen is chopping onions. God, it gets me every time. Even thinking about it my eyes are starting to burn.
I feel like Cutthroat Kitchen is one of those ideas that back when we were roommates, we would have tried to emulate in our own kitchen to great harm to ourselves.
Absolutely. Like we would have had, like, you got to turn the stovetop on and put both hands on the top of the stovetop and burn both of your hands before you start cooking.
And it's one of those things where we're like, Matt, no, don't do it.
Yeah. Good times.
Oh, great times. Well, Matt, we're back and we got more kitchen gadgets to discuss. I thought I've already gone and spent all my money. I can't afford to pick up any more kitchen gadgets.
Well, that's unfortunate, Sean, because I have just the kitchen gadget that you need to buy.
This is like a bad QVC show. Coming up in our next hour.
All right. What you need to buy is, I found this pepper grinder, right?
Uh-huh.
Now let's see if you can find a picture for the folks at home.
Okay.
It's a pepper grinder that instead of cranking it, okay, all you do is there's like a little lever at the top, and you just flip the lever over, and it just like grinds it. It's so fantastic. I found it at Sur La Table. So if you need an idea of where you could find it, Sur La Table.
Yeah, I found it right here.
Yeah, you got it?
I do. The Kun
It's pretty
Raikon
cool.
high output. They call it a ratchet mill. If you can.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Put up on screen for the folks watching the video. It looks pretty neat. How's that better or worse than any other pepper dispensing product?
Well, it's more of an aesthetic thing, really. It's like flipping that thing over is so satisfying. It just goes and it makes like a little satisfying little something like that, and it's just an aesthetic thing. You don't need one by any means. I mean, you can get along just as good with a normal pepper grinder, but
oh, well, it looks pretty easy to use. I use a lot of pepper in my cooking. I don't use a lot of salt. I try to not use a lot of salt, but
do you?
But
That's good.
I would like to get a pepper grinder at some point. But I also know they have the electric ones if you're feeling real badass about it.
They do.
Would that make me kind of a tool
But
if I got one? That's kind of
a
what you're
little bit.
implying with your.
That is yeah. That's exactly what I was implying.
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head. I don't think anybody's shown an electric pepper grinder. That's a little too much. You'd be a little extra if you had a electric pepper grinder. A little bit extra. But I'll tell you what's not a little bit extra. Honey spoon. What did we call it? A honey.
Oh shit.
Honey dip. Honey dipper.
Honey dipper. Yeah.
Yes. It actually sounds like a mild insult now that I say it.
Mm-hmm.
You dang honey dipper.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. I can't see myself ever owning one, but they look cool.
A honey dipper. Well, but it only works if you have like a large bowl of honey or something. You need like such a quantity of honey to use that with. It's not very practical for your average person.
I disagree. I think if you had a simple jar of honey, it would work just fine. Honey is a pain in the ass to get out of the container. It's very sticky, and it's not as it doesn't have the same viscosity as syrup. So, like,
you need a honey dipper.
Yeah, especially when you're nearing the end of the bottle, that can be an absolute pain. I think the honey dipper will actually save you money in the long run because rather than buying a new jar of honey, you can just keep using that honey until you get to the bitter, bitter end. Till there's no honey left.
You sound so bitter about that.
I do. I don't really use that much honey anymore, which is sad. I used to put it on all my chicken nuggets, and when I was a kid, whenever I was a kid and had chicken nuggets, I always put honey on them. That was my preferred topping of choice. And then I guess I evolved to like putting barbecue sauce and ketchup and stuff, but I don't know. I always used to really like honey with chicken nuggets. So that I don't have chicken nuggets very often anymore, so I don't really because I'm an adult and I don't really have so that means I don't really have an occasion to use honey that much.
No, it's not super
Who really
useful.
uses honey?
Bees.
Bees make honey.
Well, they use it.
They use it as their food. Right? That's what they use honey for.
Oh my god, we're so in the weeds. Back out. Reverse of the truck. Put it in reverse. We got to get out of the situation.
Bees. Do we ever do an episode about bees?
We will never do an episode about bees. That's my commitment to the listener. I promise you. I will. If Matt ever comes to me and says, "Sean, we're doing an episode about bees," no, that's going in the recycle bin with what was your other idea? Bridges and tunnels was always one of my favorite suggestions you ever made, and I'm like, Matt, explain to me how we can talk for 40 minutes on bridges and tunnels.
I still think it would be a good topic. One of us could read a lot about bridges, and the other one could read a whole bunch about famous tunnels.
We can battle them, which is better, a bridge or a tunnel.
Oh, God. Obviously, it's a tunnel.
The funny thing is you're wrong. It's a bridge.
No, it's a tunnel.
No, it's a
tunnel's way better.
Unequivocally a bridge.
Bridges suck.
Bridges suck. Tunnels suck. No, tunnels.
I'm afraid of heights. I hate bridges.
And I'm afraid of being crushed underground. So, it's a.
Well, you just pretend like you're not underground.
And you pretend you're not on a bridge. Suck it up. God.
It's a lot more difficult to pretend you're not on a bridge, Sean.
Well, I'm so sorry it doesn't help you, but, it's also a lot easier and cheaper to build a bridge than it is a tunnel, so.
It is a lot cheaper, but it's worth it in the long run to build tunnels.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I think it is. Anyway, let us apply to the folks at home. Let us advocate one thing from your list that you have on the list that you made for this episode.
But you want me to advocate for it, like people should buy it? I should recommend it?
Well, give me your under, over, or appropriate.
On something on my list.
Yes.
By the way, I just bought one of those pepper grinders, so thank you, Matt.
Did you really?
I did on Amazon. Yeah, so that'll be here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Will this work with other things? Can I get you to impulse buy things?
I'm not sending it to your house, so no.
No, I know. But can I
Oh, you can. I do that on Don't Panic all the time. Colby and Dan recommend stuff, and I just end up buying it, and I'm like, I bought it.
Oh.
Very
That's
impulsive.
pretty dangerous.
No, I've been wanting to get one anyway. I just didn't know which one to get, and I said, if it's good enough for Matt, It's good enough for me. I did not buy an
I don't know.
electric wok after the last episode. That is one I avoided.
I have an electric. I don't. I actually don't own one of those pepper things. I just saw it in the store. I thought it was cool. I
Shut
never
up.
bought
Don't
one.
do that.
No, I didn't. I don't. I have a regular little pepper. Actually, you want to see my pepper thing? It's right here. It's
Oh
a
my
fox.
god, you just got me to buy something you don't even own. What if it's terrible?
Yeah,
What is
I
wrong?
was
You made it
shocked.
sound like you owned one.
No, I tried it out in the store and I thought it was really cool, but it was way too damn expensive.
Oh.
They wanted like $20 for it. Are you crazy? I'm not paying 20
Can I
bucks.
cancel that? Hello,
No,
Amazon. Hang
wait,
on.
Al.
Can I cancel that order?
No, it's great. No, you should buy it. It is really cool. And yeah,
Too late now.
I think it would be cool. I'll try it out when I come visit.
Oh my god,
It'll be
shame
fun.
on you, Matt. No, I can give you a kitchen item that I absolutely love and I use all the time, and I think every kitchen needs one, but not everyone has one. You ready?
I am ready.
Mixing bowls.
How does not every kitchen have a mixing bowl?
Not every kitchen has mixing bowls. Well, multiple mixing bowls.
What do you use your hands like it's the 18th century or something?
No, but they just
If
do
you
it in
don't have
like
one?
no, they do it in like regular smaller bowls or like in pots. No, like separate bowls just for mixing.
You're talking about those like stainless steel metal bowls.
You can get them in plastic too. But yeah,
Yeah,
the ones
but-
that are a little bigger.
And
You
you
know,
put them
I have
you
them in
put
a
them
couple different
underneath the
sizes.
mixer. Yeah.
Yeah, kind
Those
of
are
like that,
great.
except you buy them outside of the mixer. You just have bowls. They're
Yeah.
just bowls.
And you can like
Mix-
attach them. Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Is that something
Ac-
everyone has?
Actually, I don't know if I have a mixing bowl now that you mention it. I mean my mom has a mixing bowl that I used to use when I lived at her house, but I don't think I own one. So maybe I should get a
They're
mixing
great,
bowl.
and they're not
Every
very
house
expensive.
really does need.
You can get the plastic ones, and they're pretty reasonably priced. But I love cooking with mine, not just to mix stuff in, but you can use them for. I marinate stuff. Like stuff can sit in it. Like, or I use it. It's this is a Rachel Ray thing. I didn't come up with this. I'm stealing it from her. A garbage bowl is what she calls it. But that's where like if you're like doing stuff and you have to throw stuff away, you just toss it in a bowl instead of going to the trash can or the garbage disposal every time. So like if you're peeling something, you put the peels in there. If you're chopping like the ends off, you put it in there and you just fill the bowl with crap and then
Holy
throw it away
cow,
when you're
that-
done. It saves you a lot of time.
That's a great idea.
It
It
is.
does save you a lot of time.
And what's funny is
That is really-
Rachel Ray's cookware line sells a dedicated garbage bowl, but spoiler alert, it's just a regular bowl. So don't pay Rachel Ray prices for her garbage bowl. Get a regular bowl and put garbage in it.
Total.
So no, I'm a big fan of mixing bowls. That's that's one of the new things I bought when I moved here, and I get a lot of use out of them. So
Cool.
that's a
Yeah, mixing bowls are
that's a
great.
good one. And the other one I really get a lot of use out of is Matt. What do you store your leftovers in?
Tupperware.
Plastic Tupperware?
Yes.
Okay. Are you ready to upgrade your life?
I'm absolutely ready. Are you going to tell me like stainless steel Tupperware or something?
No, glass.
technology?
Pyrex. Get the good stuff.
Oh,
Matt.
yes, I do. I have
Okay.
I have glass. Yes, I do. I do have glass
I
Tupperware. I love it. I love
love
it,
it.
but I'm afraid to use it.
Stop living your life in fear, Matt.
I do. I use it very, very sparingly because I don't want to ruin it, and I do. But I love
do
it.
you
I do
ruin
love
it?
glass Tupperware.
How would you
Like, the best-
ruin it?
If I like use it too much and it gets worn out or dirty, or
it's
like
glass.
or if I drop it and it breaks
Well,
or something.
Yeah, that's possible, but they're supposed to be shatter resistant.
Now, you're not supposed to. I just learned this the other day. You're not supposed to microwave plastic. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, you're
not-
really
Microwaving plastic is bad for you. So
Nope.
the glass Tupperware can actually save your life because you microwave the glass Tupperware instead.
well. The best thing about glass is you can do literally anything with it, right? Because it's safe for the microwave, it's safe for the oven, it's safe for the freezer, it's safe for the dishwasher. There's literally almost no limit to what you can do with glass, other than shatter it. So, I am a big fan of the of my Pyrex. That's one I do recommend to people. You're breaking up a little bit, Matt. We've lost you here for a second. We're gonna give him a minute.
Other than shatter it.
Okay. Are you there, Matt? Matt? Hello?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, you're back. We lost you for a minute there.
I'm back. Yes, I just had the best time. So it just went into slow motion, and you made a really funny face while we were in slow motion.
Yeah,
But it was actually just our feed dying slowly.
but we're back.
We're back.
We're back, baby.
Yeah. So you were saying about anything, it's other than shattering it, the glass
It's
Tupperware
basically
can.
indestructible, assuming you don't drop it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Pretty much.
it's pretty great.
Um, I happen to like the. It just kind of like just feels better. I don't know. I like eating out of the glass Tupperware more than the plastic. I think it also. I think the lid just stays on better.
It might keep the food fresher. I love freezing in mine. I freeze if I have like what I do is I make slow cooker burrito filling with chicken and rice and beans and stuff, and I make too much for any span of. So I freeze a bunch of it in my Pyrex. Freezes great and reheats real easy in the Pyrex, and freezing in plastic is a nightmare.
Yes, it is.
It's really great for that.
The plastic expands, and
Well, what
then you've
happens?
got a whole mess.
What I find is, and this has actually happened to me before, I used to do it in plastic, and if you put too much, especially if it's more liquid, if you put too much, obviously the liquid expands when it freezes. It'll literally shatter the plastic. That's
Yep.
happened to me before. So with the glass, obviously it won't, but I mean, you got to leave a little room for expansion. But no, it freezes up much better.
Yeah, it's definitely a good way to go. Uh, I also like that. I don't know if the plastic ones do this, but the glass ones come with like, well, I guess some of the plastics ones like they come with like these lids that snap on just so easily, just so nice.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like I think glass Tupperware is the way to go.
And I'll give people a pro tip here. If you're interested in picking up some glass, look for a Pyrex outlet store. They actually have outlet stores, and the prices are pretty good there compared to buying them at full retail price. That's where I got mine. And it's a whole store just full of the glass stuff in every size, shape, configuration you can imagine. And the prices are pretty solid. So see if there's an outlet store near you.
Absolutely.
Pro tip. What about you, Matt? You've got something else, or should I keep going?
I have a little something over here that
right.
I'd like to mention. I think it's worth a mention. It's not a big deal. You don't really need this, but it's very cheap, very affordable, and it just makes your life a little bit easier. Sean, are you a fan of bananas?
No.
Well, if in an alternate universe,
Matt, ask
where
me
you are a
again.
fan,
No, ask me again.
Sean, are you a fan of bananas?
Absolutely.
Would you say that you are bananas for bananas?
I would say I'm just full of bananas. I'm just
No, you're full of
BANANAS.
baloney.
This shit is bananas.
I think you're full of baloney.
Oh,
But anyway,
okay.
if you happen to be a fan of bananas, then you would really appreciate a banana holder.
Oh, you mean like one of those with the little hook so they're suspended in the air?
Oh, yes, that's exactly what I mean. The banana holder is a tremendous invention. I picked it up one day at a Walmart when I was going to buy some bananas at the store, at the Walmart, and it was an impulse buy. It was only like $3 or something, but it's so cool. It prevents the bananas from getting bruised.
Wow.
Because the bananas, like naturally they hang from trees. So this banana holder kind of mimics that tree hanging behavior.
If you're showing us something, Matt, we can't see your video.
I'm not showing. No,
Okay.
I'm plugging my computer in.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were doing.
I've killed the video feed because
That's fine.
it was being a problem.
Yeah, but Matt, isn't this kind of like one of those first world problems where it's like you're so American that your bananas can't sit on the counter like everyone else around the world?
To be fair, though, isn't everything that we're talking about in terms of kitchen appliances kind of like fixing a first world problem?
To be fair, I did talk about buying a bowl just to put your garbage in. So On second thought, I'm going to retract that statement.
So yeah, back to the banana holder. It's pretty cool. I never knew that I needed a banana holder before, and you know what? I still don't. I don't really think I need one, but it's just kind of nice to have.
Well, they're cool
And you know
looking
what? You
too.
know what the best thing of all is
What?
about a banana holder? I think it adds character to your kitchen. It gives it a little bit of
Some
personality.
flair, sure.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, the bananas used to just sit out on the countertop. I was like a barbarian, but now my banana, I'm more civilized. I have the bananas on a holder.
And what's great about fruit is it's so colorful and fun to display. I think you have a lot of I'm a big fan of the show Colby. And his apartment actually has a hanging fruit. It's like a two height fruit bowl that you can keep citrus in, and other decorative things. There's so many ways to display your pretty fruit.
Yeah,
Of course, you have to have
totally.
fruit
The
to
only
put in
the
it.
only problem with that is that if it's not refrigerated, it can go bad pretty fast.
Sure.
But I agree. Displaying your fruit, and you know what? It might encourage you to eat fruit more often.
Yeah.
If you see it out on the countertop, you might grab it
You
as a
know,
snack.
I really got to be honest. Again, first world problems. I always forget. I buy apples and I forget I have them, and they go bad in my crisper drawer because I never see them. So
Yeah.
maybe that's what I need to do is get a bowl for apples.
I think that would be a great idea. A bowl for
Wow.
apples or any other fruit you have. I happen to really like apples and bananas. And you know what I just bought the other day? Now
What?
that I'm thinking about it, and this can kind of lead into another kitchen product. I bought a navel orange.
Okay.
Have you ever had a navel orange
I
before?
have had a navel orange.
What is the biggest problem with oranges?
They're too heavy. I don't know.
The biggest problem with oranges is that you can't juice them. So what
Well, you
you need
can juice
a
them.
juice. Well, you can juice them, but you have to peel it first, right?
Well,
Do you have a
first of all,
juicer,
hang on.
Sean?
First of all, are you fresh juicing oranges all of a sudden? Is this like a thing?
No, but I would like to start. I think that would be great.
No,
But I
you
don't
can.
have a juicer.
No, you can get a manual a non-electric orange juicer that you just do by hand.
Yeah. Do you happen to have one of those in your kitchen?
I do not. I don't keep enough fresh fruit in the house to do it. Although now you're gonna give me spend so much money, Matt.
I
Seriously.
was just gonna say, do
No,
you want to look
you know
at
what I really
Amazon?
want? Have you ever used or seen the industrial sized orange juice making machines with the big bucket of oranges on top? And the oranges fall into the machine and will create fresh squeezed juice for you out of this giant machine.
Fresh squeeze. Oh yes, yeah, and you can kind of use it with other things too, right? Besides
Yeah, but
just
like the ones
oranges.
they have in like restaurants and like the where they put a whole bucket of oranges on top. The industrial ones. I want one of those, but I don't really have the
Oh
space.
no,
Um,
you got to be pretty darn dedicated.
oh look, Amazon has one for $612. Let me show the folks at home what I'm talking about. I don't know, Matt. I think maybe I should get it.
I think you should just get it. Just buy it. Just what the hell?
It does 4 to
You only live
7
once, right?
glasses per minute. It can squeeze 20 to 22 oranges per minute.
Wow.
That's crazy. I can make so
How many
much juice.
glasses can you produce?
4 to 7 a minute. Yeah, think about that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm
You have me wanting orange juice now. I have like a
hankering.
hankering for orange juice.
No, but Matt, I think you should get an orange juice machine. And there's a lot of different ones you can get, whether it's like a hand press, whether it's a twist sort of citrus juicer and strainer.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of options,
Oh,
and they're not crazy expensive.
yeah.
You just have to get oranges.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, that sounds fun. I don't. You probably have to. How many oranges do you think it takes you to get a glass?
Oh, I would say at least like
6?
a full glass. I would say at least 8. Yeah, I was gonna go with 8.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get a lot of oranges. That's kind of the problem. But that's why you would get a professional juicer, because then you can mix in other things, right? You wouldn't just put in oranges; you put in other. If you get a specific citrus juicer, then you're kind of limited. If you get a full juicer, then you can put in all sorts of carrots and all sorts of other. Make it a mix of fruit juices and
Yeah,
vegetable juices. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. But no, I don't
yeah.
eat a lot of.
I don't know. Maybe if you had this giant ass machine, you would be more inclined to drink orange juice, freshly squeezed.
Absolutely. Well, and I think I talked on the last episode of this we did the my purchase of a citrus squeezer for cooking. Did I talk about
The
that?
zest, right?
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
you
not
mentioned
no, no,
that
no,
you have
not the
zest.
zester. Outside of the zester. Maybe I didn't talk about it. It's like a little clamshell device. It almost looks like, I guess, like a nutcracker, except instead of putting the nut in between the swinging arms, you put a piece of citrus, sliced in half. I use it for lemons, for lemon juice and lime juice when I'm cooking. And it's just a manual. You just squeeze the levers together and squeeze the juice out. And those are like, you can get those for $5 or $10. I mean, they're really reasonable. And it's really great. Like not bragging, I make a great shrimp linguine recipe, but it requires a lot of lemon juice, but I like it fresh. So I just buy the lemons and I squeeze it myself. The problem is it's very manual. And I don't think you get as much juice out of it as you would an actual device made for, you could make orange juice out of it. I feel very confident about that, but I don't think it would be as efficient as getting like an actual device designed to suck the juices out of it.
Just the cool thing about that is that you get to mix your own juices. So if you wanted lemonade and orange juice, like freshly squeezed,
Yeah,
and like you could also throw pineapple in there, and
sure.
like yeah, you kind of just
That's what
make your
people
own.
juicers do. I mean, it's the same with, I went back and forth for a while when I moved and I was picking up a lot of appliances. I went back and forth on a blender because for a while I was like, I would like to do. Of course, everyone says it. I'd like to have a smoothie every day if I get a blender, and then no one ever does. But I went back and forth because you can do a lot if you have the equipment to do it. You can get a juicer is going to be more beneficial for if you're doing vegetables, I think, and things like that. But if you're just doing fruit, I mean, you could certainly do it in a blender. But you're not going to get it as fine if you're looking for a juice. It's going to be a little chunkier. But if you're okay with that, you could do it in a blender too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't buy a blender. That's a tough one. There just aren't that many uses, I think, for a blender.
Um, I really like a blender for milkshakes.
Oh, sure. I would love to get one of the what do they call the dedicated milkshake machine? You know what I'm talking about, with the silver tin, and it's got
Oh
the little
yeah,
arm.
you get in. Yeah, it's like
I'm
a
literally
diner.
looking up milkshake maker. Yeah, they call it a drink mixer or a milkshake mixer, where it's the or a hand blender. That's what they call them. Where you hold it in your hand and it's just got the little metal kind of thing that goes down, and instead of it. And actually, they're really, although I don't know if these are any good, but they're like $30. They're really reasonable
Yeah.
on Amazon. I can get an industrial one for $500, and it can make 3 at a time. I'm just going to open
How
my
many?
own restaurant, I think, in my apartment.
Did you say 300 at a time?
No, 3. It's got 3 metal tins, so you can
Oh,
make 3 at a time.
it'll crank out 3 at a time. Yeah, run your own little business there.
My own ice cream shop out of my house.
Get one for your work.
I actually do kind of want to get.
That'll make work fun.
I do kind of want to get one of the single
Milkshakes
ones.
all the time.
These are great. Yeah,
Mm.
they're $30. Drink mixer. Damn. In all chrome. Damn, that's slick. Man, Matt, stop getting me to spend money. Jesus, I'm gonna be broke.
Can we make that the theme of this podcast from now on? Matt tries to get Sean to buy things.
And at the end of each episode, we have like a grand total, and you see how high you can get it each episode. Be like, today we got Sean to spend $386. Tune in next week to see if we can get him to spend more.
And then that would be very easy to get corporate sponsorship for.
Oh, I'll show. Look, if Hamilton Beach wants to send me a free Drink Master drink mixer, I will tell people how great a milkshake it makes all day long. All day long. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, and you can even get the ice cream soda glass with the long spoons. Amazon's got it. They got a whole set.
Crazy straw. You ever drink out of a crazy straw?
It's more crazy than practical. I never was a big fan of the crazy straw.
It's very entertaining.
It is. Yeah, it's fun for a little bit. Not good for a milkshake. Oh my God, not at all good for a milkshake.
Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much exclusively what I would use.
Really?
It for.
It's a little thick though. Isn't it a little thick for
milkshakes
crazy
all the
straw?
time. Yeah, whenever I was sick, that was my go-to thing. I would get
milkshake out of a crazy straw.
Milkshake out of a crazy straw.
That is crazy.
Would be my drink. The crazy straw would just be entertaining. Like, I don't know. It's one of the little things that I miss.
Put a smile on Sick Matt's face.
Yep. Hashtag 90s kid.
Hashtag 90s kids will remember. 10 times you're a 90s kid. You drank your milkshake out of a crazy straw.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. I forgot about those. There's so many of these just weird kitchen gadget shits. It's kind of unbelievable. Yeah, I was gonna say, the other thing that that I actually really recently purchased because I was doing the upgrade, and I gotta ask you, Matt, what type of cutting board are you a wood guy, a glass guy, a plastic guy?
I go for like the hard plastic cutting boards.
The hard plastic, yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I don't know. Something about the wood. I like the wood cutting boards. I just don't think they're very easy to wash afterwards. And I think that they're also kind of expensive.
It's really more, I would argue it's a little more for appearance than it is for practicality, especially because you can't put them in the dishwasher. For me, that's a deal breaker.
That's what yeah, totally.
Where there's the plastic, you can. But one thing I did learn, this was a good tip. Someone told me this once, and I totally agree with them. Everyone should own two cutting boards, and ideally they should be two different types of cutting boards so you can easily tell them apart. And you use one for meats and one for fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, that absolutely.
For food safety reasons, right? So you don't cross-contaminate. And so have a wood one you just use for fruits and vegetables. Should probably be on the wood one because you don't want the wood grain to absorb the meat juices and do meat on plastic. Like I have a plastic and I have a glass, and I use the glass for meats and the plastics for vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And that tends to work pretty well.
Yeah. I really want to learn knife technique. Are you a good knife technique person when you're in the kitchen?
I don't want to brag. I'm getting a lot better, and I didn't really do any tutorials or anything. It's probably trial and error, and one of those things that if a chef saw me, they're like, "Why do you do it that way?" But I feel a lot better than I used to be. You just have to have the right knives.
Yes.
Like
knives are huge.
If you just have, it's not even like high quality. It's just the right types. Like you need a chef's knife that's sort of larger. It's hard to describe, but the one with a little more height that you can chop stuff with, a multi-use chef's knife. I use mine for everything, and I used to do it with like a steak knife or whatever I had in the kitchen drawer. And if you have the right knives, you're in good shape. That's why a great advice given to me once was that don't go out and buy one of those 10-piece knife sets because they tend to not be as good, and they're more expensive because they give you a bunch of knives you don't need. All you really need for knives, pro tip, you need a chef's knife, and that's your biggest one, and you're going to want to spend probably the most on that because that's the one you're going to use the most. You need a paring knife for smaller stuff or more detailed stuff, especially for cutting some certain vegetables. A legitimate meat knife, usually serrated, for cutting through tougher, either uncooked or cooked meats that are a little tougher to get through. And if you're feeling generous, you can pick up either a carving knife or a bread knife, and there are a couple others you can get on top. But really, you need chef's knife, paring knife, and a serrated hardcore meat knife. And if you can get those three, that will cover 90% of your knife needs.
Yeah, and then you're in business.
And then you're in business. And you can your money's going to go farther because you're only buying 3 knives. You can get better of those rather than 10 crappier knives.
Yeah. Now, is there a particular company or brand that you'd like to
That I'd like to
talk
recommend.
about?
Um,
Hmm.
no, because I'm not an expert. I would point people, like I did last time we did this show, to the Sweet Home, which is the fantastic website that reviews everything. I bought their knives pick, and I was extremely, and I continue to be extremely happy with what I bought. In fact, my mother liked my paring knife so much, I went and bought her and sent her one because she liked it so much. I will say that my serrated, what they call a utility knife or a meat knife, and my paring knife both come from they're Swiss knives. They're, how do you pronounce it? Victorinox. And I've been very happy. And my chef's knife, let me see if I can. For some reason, it's not coming up on my Amazon search history. But that was it's I believe Japanese. Yes, my oh boy, my Tohiru. It's an 8.2 inch chef's knife. The one thing I haven't figured out is how to keep it sharp.
Yeah.
That's the only thing because I've noticed it's starting not to necessarily chip, but but it's going to start to lose. I gotta figure out. I gotta do some research because there are certain ways you're supposed to do it, and I'm not entirely certain how that is. But I will say, I mean, I spent the Tohiro I bought is not the nicest knife you can get. It's like the cheap version of a nice knife, and I spent like $55 on it. I mean, you really, if you can't spend $20 on a knife and expect it to be good. You really got to put your money's worth. But I have unequivocally gotten my money's worth out of my chef's knife. I use it every time I cook. That's how you know how like the chefs, they, when they're trying to dice up things and they do it quickly with the knife and I've gotten pretty good at that because you got to have the chef's knife. That's the trick.
Yeah. Um, I always see the chefs chopping vegetables on TV. I get very jealous that they have so much control over the knife. It's very impressive.
Yep. Yep.
I guess the knife makes a pretty big difference. Yeah.
It does. It does. Like I said, the Sweet Home, honestly, all the tips I'm giving you, I learned from, they have a very nice long blog post about what knives to buy and why you need them and what you need to look for. And I recommend, if you're interested, go check them out. But really, like I said, a good chef's knife will really make a big difference in your kitchen and in your cooking. And to be honest, I don't believe that people need any kind of fancy training to use knives. It just comes with experience. The one thing I was considering getting after I cut myself pretty good with the with my carving knife was Kevlar gloves. Are you familiar with these, Matt?
Kevlar gloves for cooking?
Kevlar gloves for cooking. This is a real thing. Some chefs use them, and you can buy them for your home. And it's kind of like a modern version of chainmail in a lot of ways. And they're gloves, and you get a pair, and they're cut resistant, and you can't cut through them. And you wear them when you're cutting and slicing to prevent from cutting your fingers off.
Yeah, look at that. Kevlar cooking gloves.
Yep, and they're not outrageously expensive, but I showed you post Super Bowl that nice cut I had on my finger.
Yes.
And I am so afraid that I am so clumsy in the kitchen. I make a mess when I cook. I get shit. There's like splatter on the walls and stuff on the floor. Like, I'm a total mess when I cook, and I'm so afraid one of these times I'm just not going to be paying attention and I'm going to slice my finger real nice. And so I've been going back and forth about picking up a pair of these.
Very good. Yeah, these look pretty cool. These look pretty secure. Now, my issue here is, though, it won't contaminate the food in any way, right?
No, it shouldn't. I don't know how you. It says they're machine washable. I don't know how you wash them. That's a good question. Because you're right. You don't want cross contamination. Honestly, and they're not. They're what, $12 were the ones I was looking at. I would almost get two pairs and use one for meat and one for vegetables. That might be overkill, but you really got to be careful, or just wear them with vegetables and dough. Because meat, you're not going to cut in the same way you do vegetables. You're not going to be like finely chopping where the knife's close to your hand. So I probably wouldn't even. I would probably just use them for vegetables, and in that case, you don't have to worry too much about cross contamination. So I don't think you'd have to worry too much about them being super clean.
Okay.
So something I'm thinking about. We'll see. Matt, when you come down here in a couple weeks, I'll cook you dinner.
All right.
With my fancy, I made over the weekend shrimp and asparagus risotto, which is one of the few things I make really well.
Very nice.
That's one thing about Texas. We've got fantastic shrimp
Risotto.
and crawfish.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I will definitely look forward to that. Maybe you could show me a thing or two about your knife technique.
Maybe.
And get you to buy some more things for
I
your
don't.
kitchen.
I'll be selling you on all the stuff I have in my kitchen. Yeah, it's tempting. It's tempting for sure. Well, we'll see. I don't need to buy any more stuff. That's for sure. I already bought an overpriced pepper grater that you don't even own. So one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt. Well, good. I'm glad we had enough time to fill up the episode here with kitchen. Any other kitchen stuff we didn't get to before we start to ram? Are you literally looking around your kitchen?
No, I feel like there was one. Oh, there is this really cool. I don't know. It's a very simple idea, but there are these like slicers that you can use for like they make like one for an apple, and you can like basically it makes like apple slices like instantly.
Well, I'm thinking of like
They,
eight things you could be describing. What does it look
well,
like?
all right, yeah, I'm trying to fit them all into one category comfortably, but
Well,
it's not
because there's
satisfying the job.
there's of course you can get the depeeler, which you put the
Yep.
apple in and it spin takes the peel off. Then you've got the very simple hand operated where it's kind of the blades are in crisscross patterns and you just push it down, usually for like a potato or an apple.
That is exactly what I'm talking about.
Because there's also, for a second I thought you were talking about a mandolin slicer?
No, yeah, and I was actually not a mandolin slicer, but there's another one that you can use for hard-boiled eggs. Have you ever seen that one?
Oh, with the wires?
Yes,
Yeah.
with the wires.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like that idea that the job of slicing things. They make one for potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just think that's a really cool idea.
I know,
That they like something to be taken care of so quickly like that.
And there's the spiralizer as well,
Mm-hmm.
where you can spiralize various vegetables. And Matt, I bet I have something. I think if you don't already own it, I feel like this is right up your alley, and that is the in the egg scrambler. Have you seen these?
I have seen them. Those things frighten me. They really
Is it a
do.
front to nature?
Kind of. I would feel. I wouldn't. I don't know if I would feel very good about using one of those.
But it scrambles it right in the egg.
It does, which is great, and it saves a heck of a lot of time. But I kind of like scrambling the eggs myself. Is that weird? It just like something about it feels good. Like
That's another good kitchen. You have to have a really good whisk,
yes,
and it
whisks
should
are
be a
so
metal
important.
whisk.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know people with plastic whisks. Don't be a fool. Get the metal whisk
Yeah.
and do it in your mixing bowl. That's a great place to whisk stuff up. That's a pro tip because you just got taller sides, so you can really get the whip going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I love whisks. Are great. Gotta have them, man. This is great. You know, Matt, you got me thinking. One of these days we should do an episode of as seen on TV products.
Yeah, we should.
Like both historical ones and kind of modern day ones. Because you're making me think of like the slap chop and the Ron Popeil, set it and forget it rotisserie oven, and a lot of cooking devices have been sold that way.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. A QVC episode.
Well, I've
See
told
if we
you.
can get
I
the
mean,
response.
it is my life's dream to be a QVC salesperson. So,
Well, I think you'd be uh, a great
oh
salesperson.
well, thank you. Could
Just try not to cut yourself like that.
I
That
would do that?
hysterical video with the sword.
But that's always why they have the chef with the host, so the host doesn't have
Yeah,
to do and they're the ones who taste all the food. They don't have to actually cook. They're like, oh wow, that's really great, But they don't have to ever actually. Matt, could you? I think you and I could do a good QVC segment.
I think we could do a
As
fantastic.
Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us here on In the Kitchen with Sean and Matt. Coming up in the next hour, we've got some fantastic knives that have to be seen to be believed. But coming up right now, we're here with Matt Mariani, and he's talking to us today about in the egg scramblers. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome, Sean. I love being here selling these products with you.
Well, absolutely, Matt. So today you've got something real special for the folks at home. It is an in the egg scrambler. And I know most people haven't heard about this, but I think it's a really interesting concept to reduce mess in the kitchen. Because I don't know about you, but I am a messy cook, and anything I can do to reduce mess is really something I look forward to. What do we got here for the folks at home?
Well, look, if you're too damn lazy to scramble your own eggs, and in this modern society, you want everything done instantaneously, then you could just press this button and bam, the egg will scramble for you and cook for you and do your taxes for you.
And what's really great, Matt, all sizes of eggs. We've got medium, large, extra large, double extra large. Any kind of egg up to and including an ostrich egg, you can fit inside the In the Egg Scrambler. And even better, Matt, we have it today on 6 easy payments of $1.99 a piece. So we'll spread that over your credit card over 6 months. So really, you can get it home today. Call our operators. They're standing by. We have a few left in stock. Matt, tell us what colors this comes in today.
I mein, why spend your time doing anything? Why spend your time whisking eggs when you could be doing something else? Or why spend your time, you know, cooking it at all? Why not just call it up and have the food delivered to you right to your door?
Matt,
Take like 10 seconds.
I think you're a little off topic, Matt. Again, I want to focus you on the In the Egg Scrambler. I think people are really going to be interested in picking this up, bringing this home, shipped right to their door.
Does it come in multiple colors? Why would one need more than one color?
Well,
With
Matt, you want it? We have it over here. We have it in Corvette red. We have it over here in a beautiful lavender purple. And you see over here, Matt, this is an exclusive to QVC today. We've got it in this turquoise color, but amounts are limited. Let me check with the producer. How many do we have left? I'm told we have 200 of them remaining, and they're going fast, so you're going to want to call now. Now on the line, we have a user of the In the Egg Scrambler. His name is Todd. Todd Stevenson, and he's on the phone right now. Todd, I'm told that you own an In the Egg Scrambler. Tell us about how you like it.
Well, I like my in-egg scrambler just fine, and I think it's a good product. I don't know how I live without this egg scrambler. I just got to tell you, it changed my life.
Wow, Todd, that sounds very exciting. Tell us a little bit more about how it changed your life. What have you been able to do with all the time you've saved, not having to scramble the egg yourself?
Well, I don't got to scramble my eggs no more, so I took up the saxophone instead.
The saxophone. Wow. That we don't guarantee that will happen if you purchase the product, but we're glad to hear satisfied customers. Todd, thank you for shopping with us today. We always appreciate hearing some positive stories about our products here on QVC.
You're welcome, Mr. Sean. You are a fine American.
Oh, that's very kind of you to say. Listen, folks, time is running out. Please call now. Operators are standing by to get you the In the Egg Scrambler. Again, 6 easy payments delivered to your door very quickly. And you'll be having pre-scrambled eggs in no time. Matt, thank you for joining us today. There you go. We can end the bit. But that was a good bit. We could do this. I'm just saying. We could all this Dungeons and Dragons gave us a lot of practice for role playing here. No, I think Matt, we've got a future in TV sales.
Yeah, that was fun.
We should do a creative exercise episode where we write our own infomercial. Where we come up with a product that we could sell on TV,
we not done that?
and then we perform the info. We figure out because every infomercial, I learned this. It's all the same bits, right? So you have to show what the problem is. You have to introduce the product. Then you have the big demonstration. Like if it's a saw, they cut a car in half or some real big gimmick. You show off the features, the demo, and then you add in the bonus features. Like if you call now, we'll also include, and then it's a whole thing.
Yeah. That's pretty much the pattern that they all follow, right?
Yeah, we got to think about that. All right.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
Well, it's always fun here, Matt. I think we've more than proven that. We appreciate everyone out there for joining us. We got to wrap it up here. We're out of time to talk kitchen gadgets. We hope you had as much fun as we did on the show. I want to do a little teasing here and there. Of course, if you listened last time to our movie draft episode, hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. I want to remind everybody that our movie draft contest, where you, the fan, can enter, it closes April 17th. If you're listening to it after that, sorry. But pick the high-screw movie of the summer. You might be able to win a tote bag and a $20 Amazon gift card. To enter, go to our website, upfordebate.tv/movies. There's a link there. And you can follow along with the Summer League all summer long there as well. For all our episodes, the main website, upfordebate.tv, is there. You can click and get all the past episodes and links to where you can subscribe on places like iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Google Play Music, TuneIn Radio, really anywhere you can get podcasts. And of course, the video version is on YouTube as well and on SoundCloud, and we're really all over the place at Up for Debate TV on Twitter. And lastly, I want to let everyone know, Up for Debate is a proud member of the Coffee and Beer family of podcasts, and you can get all of them at coffeeandbeer.tv, including our sister shows Don't Panic on technology, and of course Game Nights on Dungeons & Dragons, where we're having a lot of fun. If you can't get enough of our content, you should definitely check it out there. We will be back next time with a topic to be determined, but we guarantee at minimum it will be fun. On behalf of Matt, this is Sean, thanking everybody for joining us and hoping we'll see you next time for even more fun discussion here on Up for Debate.